Crime Time listeners, I'm glad you decided to join us once again for another amazing Crime Time podcast. Yay! Today, like always, I'm here with Lily.
Yeah.
Brinkley.
Hello.
Lola. Hi. And a surprise guest, Amelia Larcom.
Hello.
Who's very excited.
Woo!
Today, I decided to go down the classic road of plain old murder and tell you guys about the story of Amelia Dyer. So buckle on in and let's get started. Amelia Elizabeth Hobley was born on an undated day in 1837, so she's really old.
Yeah,
Amelia, she's undated. Amelia was the youngest of 5 siblings. She had 3 brothers, Thomas, James, and William, and 1 older sister named Anne. They lived Yes, that's Lola Ann. They lived in a small village in Pyle Marsh, which is located on the lower end of the United Kingdom, so the UK. As Amelia grew up, she found a liking for literature, poetry, and writing. She was apparently a very smart kid. However, a lot of her time was taken up by having to take care of her mentally ill mother, who also suffered from typhus.
What is that?
Typhus, it's like typhus fever, so I think you're just, like, sick.
Okay.
Constantly trying to say.
Yeah, which is, I have it on here, which is basically a really bad cold that lasts forever and comes with rashes.
Okay, do you know?
Heyo! No.
Actually?
Yeah, well, and back then, they probably just didn't have anything to, like,
They're like, well,
they're like, well, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Amelia felt obligated to take care of her mother and was the first-hand witness during her mental illness fits and tantrums. Oh, she took care of her mother until she died in 1859. Mm-hmm. After her mother's death, Amelia lived with her aunt for some time before serving as an apprenticeship to a corset maker.
Oh.
We'll bring the corsets, we'll bring the stitches.
You're gonna get copyrighted, mama?
Oh, sorry. I was clearing my throat. While Amelia was around the age of 24, she met her husband, George Thomas. Drew Bollinger. However, something funny is that they lied on their marriage certificate, and Amelia added 6 years to her age, and George subtracted 11. So that adds to an
sugar
overall...
Sugar mommy, sugar daddy.
Yes. So, like,
baby daddy.
While I was writing this, it added, like, really confusion in ages and certain dates because the historians just don't know because, like...
Why would they do that?
I don't know. I think
Is it related to the story or no? Or was it just random?
I kind of think because George was so old and Amelia was so young.
Oh, okay.
That they, like, added and subtracted so that it looked a little better on their behalf. Okay. Mm-hmm. Shortly after marrying Thomas, Amelia left her corset-making job and trained...
Thomas?
Oh, wait. George Thomas. That's his last name. Shortly after marrying George Thomas, Amelia left her corset-making job and trained as a nurse in order to get a higher income, period. After some time with George Thomas, things fell apart and they got divorced. However, Amelia found another husband, period, in 1872 named William Dyer.
Isn't that her brother's name?
Yes.
She don't care.
Yeah, she don't give a crap.
Why is she all over all these men?
Don't shame her.
I am.
And they had 2 kids together. However, like time and time again, Amelia left George Thomas. Oh, wait, not George Thomas.
The other one, William.
Yeah, William Dyer, and continued on with her life. Now, with her nursing career, she would let women who conceived babies illegitimately, so babies when the couple isn't married, so, like, a couple had a baby and they weren't married, stay in her house. So that, because, like, back then you would get, like, shamed.
Yeah.
So then she would, like, take them in, kind of, to just kind of be like, I'll protect you.
Yeah, that's a very good person.
We'll see about
So basically she adopted the unwanted babies for a fee. So like the government would give her a fee because she was adopting the babies and the government was like, oh, you need, it's basically like child support but from the government.
Yeah.
So for housing and because she like had an adoption center basically is what she called it. Mm-hmm. She did this because with the split of her and her husband's, she needed a higher income to be able to take care of just herself.
So did she have kids with these 2?
She had 2 kids. So they're just, like, living with the adopted babies. Everything went all dandy for about 7 years until the police started getting suspicious of how many babies were dying mysteriously in her care.
Oh, my God.
Now,
I love this.
I don't.
Now, since it is back in the day, babies didn't have, like, all the life-saving vaccines they do now. Mm-hmm. So the public just brushed it off as, like, babies' deaths. Like,
this is giving when I watched a show where this doctor would, like, have women give birth, and then he'd say the baby died, but he'd actually sell them out the back door of the hospital.
What the heck?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's freaky.
And he sold, like, over 1 million babies just to random people.
Like, to have their own care to do, like, freaky stuff.
No. They just, like, just to
if
have
they just
their own
wanted
kid.
a baby.
Oh.
So he'd pose as this doctor helping women give birth, but he'd actually just sell the babies out the back door and tell them that their babies died. Sad.
Mm.
That's what this is reminding me of.
Yeah, but the police just kind of brushed it off as the babies, like, just... Because babies died back then. Like,
Yeah.
they just... It was harder for them to live.
Mhm.
However, when questioned...
They really struggled.
They did. The baby struggled. Okay. However, when the police questioned her, she kind of fessed up. So something people did back in the day to be able to make more money was something called baby farming.
Oh.
It's really the act of adopting unwanted babies in exchange for money. So she would like take in a bunch of babies, get a bunch of money from
So
it.
she didn't give a crap.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So of course Amelia did just that and adopted a few babies. However, you're not actively making money from adopting those kids unless you decide to adopt more and more. So Amelia thought of a plan. In order to make the most money out of this situation, she began to neglect the babies until they died.
Oh my god.
However, Amelia thought of an even better plan. Why wait for them to die on their own when you can just kill them on your own? Amelia has confessed to murdering hundreds of babies.
How do they not wonder, like, where these babies were just going?
Yeah,
Seriously, earlier.
Or like,
'Cause
not
it's so
even to check
old
up
back
on
then.
them.
They just don't think about that stuff. I feel
Yeah,
like,
they
in that
probably don't.
Era.
Historians have said that in a span of 2 decades, Amelia Dyer successfully killed over 400 babies.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Like, what about these?
That's
the
like
parents
everyone
that,
in our
I just don't think
grade.
the parents
Yeah.
really know. Like,
but what about the parents that would like give their babies up for adoption and be like,
and
actually,
then
want
want
to
to see them. I just don't think they really cared.
Yeah, because
Wow.
it's just like that time is so.
And were
different.
these
It's so
like
nuts.
were these like newborn babies or were
Yeah,
these,
newborn
like,
babies, toddlers, like
oh my god,
stuff like that. But after the police found out about the many murders, so like when she was questioned, she fessed up. Like she just like immediate like couldn't even hide it. Dyer was sentenced to death and went to the gallows to be hung on June 10th, 1896, at the age of 57.
Wow.
And I said,
Dang.
something important to take away from this horrible time of history is how bad the foster system has always been. Although it typically isn't as drastic as a woman taking in babies for money and proceeding to murder them, it is important to recognize how messy and unsafe the system is for children who are orphans or are needed to be adopted.
That's crazy.
I
That's
know.
sad.
It just like shows like,
It didn't really matter.
yeah, it didn't really matter. And for some reason, doesn't really matter now. Like,
I know, I
did we
feel like
not
this
even
is
learn?
Oh,
Definitely
yeah.
still going on, stuff like this for
People
money.
Oh,
getting
yeah.
away with it.
Like that doctor.
And
Yeah,
somebody
exactly.
look up a picture of her. Lily, you do it.
No, I'm
You're
scared.
gonna
Is she scary?
look up
Dyer.
Amelia Dyer.
Is she scary?
It's
I looked up
D-Y-E.
typhus or whatever it's called.
She's
D-Y-E-R.
scary. Am I gonna
Oh
be scared?
god.
No.
No.
Oh. Yeah, she's just kind of like.
She's just like old women.
what the?
Yeah, she just. Well, it's hard too because obviously this. Was so long ago. It's like a drawing.
This is her.
kinda.
This is her.
That's
I found a
Hi.
viral picture.
She
She
reminds
looks like
me
that
of
girl from
Kathy-
Jessie.
She reminds me of Kathy Bates.
Guys, I feel like I might have actually read the book to this or watched a thing on it because I just saw this thing that says Amelia Dyer, the Angel Maker. Yeah, I think I watched
The
this.
baby farm murderer.
Mhm.
Jesus.
I watched something like this on TLC.
Really?
Oh my god.
Y'all might have to tune in. Well, thank you guys for listening to this crime time, and we appreciate you every day. And thank you to our special guest Mia Lark for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey,
Yes.
hey,
Okay.
hey, hey,
We'll see you next week. Goodbye. Bye.